Alrighty, so here we go, and my webcam has been acting up a little bit lately, so I'm really hoping that it allows me to do this video vlog because I think this is very important. And this is a subject that is kind of touchy because obviously I'm black. Now, first of all, I'd like to say this. I want as much Jewish people and black people to comment on this as possible. And other races, because I would like to know what races and nationalities and religions that are not Jewish and are not black think about this whole topic here. Facebook today, some of you guys may have noticed, I was doing a few status updates. Now, this all derives from my video blog regarding the mentally challenged man that was punched out for kicking a man's child because apparently the child was making noise while the man was on the phone and it irritated him. Now, I stand by the fact that I don't give a shit. He deserved it, and nothing should be, that father shouldn't be reprimanded for his actions whatsoever. I personally believe any parent would have reacted in the same way given the circumstances. And just so that we can clear up this whole black parent issue, my mother asked her driver this morning, who is a white woman, if she would have done the same thing had that been one of her 4 children. And her reply was damn fucking right. So I don't think it's just black parents. I think as parents in general, had somebody kicked your child for making noise while they're on the phone, they deserve a little bit more than getting knocked the fuck out, straight up. Now let's get to the real issue here, because this has to go on YouTube and I only have 10 minutes, and this subject, oh my god, there's so much to discuss, it's ridiculous. So I ended up bringing up the point that Judge Mathis had at one point enlightened people on his show that a lot of the issues that affect the black community as a whole today are derived from the effects of slavery and the things that happened in slavery that have reverberated through the generations, through the centuries, and so on and so forth. This particular person that I was debating this with said, well, if that's the case, then how come the Jewish people aren't more screwed up than the black people due to the Holocaust? And here's where the big debate began. Holocaust, black slavery for 400 years. I say these two things cannot be compared. They are not on the same scale in the sense of, yes, they are two disgustingly horrible pieces of human history that everybody wishes never happened. But they happened. And when you sit down and you look at the facts of each situation, they are equally horrific. You can't say one is more horrific than the other. But in the sense of comparing them to each other, that's not possible. It's not possible. Let me explain to you why it's not possible. Number one, black slavery, and I'm not talking about slavery in any other country. I'm talking about black slavery, which was basically a discrimination against a race of people worldwide. Around the world, black people were treated as less than. Around the world. The Holocaust, it was a discrimination against a religious group of people. Jewish people were discriminated against in certain countries. Case in point, a black man could not escape and go anywhere else and be treated as a, quote, equal at any point in time during slavery. Okay? Even in Canada. Yes, there was the Underground Railway, but at the end of the day, they still were not treated as equals. A Jewish person, could have left the area if they had the chance to leave the area of where the Holocaust took place. They could come to a place like Canada or the United States of America and be accepted and live life freely and happily and not be, spit on or turned away from stores or told they can't sit at a certain spot on a bus or can't ride a bus, period. They were never told that they couldn't vote. None of these things. And let me point out, after slavery ended, black people still weren't allowed to vote. And to this day, in the States, and I ain't gonna lie, some places in Canada, black people are still not accepted in certain restaurants and places. And you know, because of the way that people talk to you, they deal with you. And some people have no fucking shame, and they'll tell you straight up, you're not wanted around here. Just last year, Halloween, there was a whole thing up in St. Catharines of a man who had a black painted skeleton hanging from a tree as a Halloween decoration with a Confederation flag, and he said it was his right to put up that decoration. Tell me that's not racist, and tell me it wasn't 2008. Thank you very much. I don't think these two things can be compared whatsoever on any scale. After the Holocaust, in more recent times, what has happened? The Jews have been allowed to seek compensation for their pain and strife. The artifacts and family heirlooms and stuff that were taken, some of them have been traced back to the families that own them, and they have been returned. Has Africa gotten back any of the gold and diamonds that were raped and pillaged out of it? Absolutely not. Do black people have compensation for 400 years, if not more, countless number of centuries of slavery? No, we don't. It took till 2008. Think about when slavery was, quote, abolished, thanks Abraham Lincoln or whoever it was that did it. Think about when that was abolished. Why did it take that long for a black man to be able to get into power in the United States of America? It's not because there weren't any men of that caliber to get there, because they're alive and they're well and they're kicking and they're there. It's not because no black man wanted to be president. It's because it wouldn't happen. Look how many times the Bushes were in office. You think that's coincidence? No, it fucking wasn't. It's just now we're getting some affirmative action. Why do you think affirmative action was created? Affirmative action was created to give black people a chance, to give visible minorities a chance. Now let's discuss that. Think about this. As difficult as it may have been, and I'm not going to minimalize it, a Jewish person could lie. You would go in, are you Jewish or not? You could say no. And, you know, there would have to be things to prove that you are Jewish or for you to prove that you are not. At no point in time, during slavery or any other time, could somebody come and say, are you black or not? And you could be like, well, no, I'm not. And get away with it. Why? Because we are visible minorities. Okay? There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to take off, to change, to alter, to change the fact that we're black and we're still discriminated against. I brought up the whole topic. Why is it that Canada, on a whole, the Canadian media industry does not have a network that caters to the needs, the information necessities, the entertainment necessities of black people? Why is that? Why is that? Omni Television, as I was told by somebody, advised that person that they would not help them advertise for their wedding contest because they don't deal with black issues. They don't deal with black people. And that's Omni Television, who always boasts about being so, oh goddamn, multicultural. It's bullshit. Black people are still being held down, and yes, some of it has to do with black people holding themselves back. So don't message me about that. I'm well aware of that. However, there's still racism, predominantly against black people, okay? Racial profiling was not brought up against Asians. Police officers don't make it a point to pull over Asians in Hondas and BMWs or vehicles with tinted windows, etc. No, they don't. They make it a point to do it to black people because they all assume that black people are out there to do something wrong, okay? So let's not minimalize or try and compare two things that are equally horrible yet on two different scales. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that. This is what aggravates me, is the fact that this person basically tried to minimalize slavery and basically say, oh, black people are making it out to be more than it was. It wasn't that bad. Maybe you should watch the movie Amistad and then come tell me that black slavery wasn't, quote, that bad. Black women being raped constantly by white men and beaten constantly. Babies being thrown overboard at sea to drown because they couldn't work, so they were useless. So don't come give me no fuckery about minimalizing the slavery, enslavement of a race of people for centuries. Okay, don't give me that shit. I don't want to hear it. It's over. So please, people, comment, 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 comment. These are two things that shouldn't be compared, equally horrible, but are on two completely different scales. Agree, disagree. Please comment, everybody. Jews, blacks, all nationalities, all races, all beliefs. Please, I really would like to raise this issue and bring some awareness to some people that really need to be educated.